Hey y'all, hey, welcome back to the Wheatfield. Second, third message of the day, something like that. Anywho, we gonna jump right on in here. We was looking at, we got a couple of new books. One of them we showed y'all earlier, How Not to Lose Your Ish When You're Dealing with Folks. That's a good one. Talked about how those emotions when you get triggered kind of hold up in your body and you need to kind of do something to transform that energy. I mean, that's a given. It was a pretty cute message. It was good though. The spirit, the source always comes through. Ooh, we didn't introduce ourselves, did we? This is Lati, your channeled messenger. I say favorite channeled messenger. We just gonna keep claiming it. That's just how we do. I am statements, right? I am Lati, your favorite channeled messenger. Come on in here to the Wheatfield. How y'all doing? If you new, let me do this is where testimony meets tarot. Okay, it could be a show. It's a whole ride. We do some books. We got texts. I mean, all texts, all kind of scriptures. We look at how the infinite intelligence of the Most High God called the universe and left a word on everything. And we feel like everything can speak to us, and it do. So we use the Father, bless us with his presence, the infinite intelligence, and then the force, the breath of life. Yeah, that's what it is. And I mean, if you could pull all them pieces together and rock with your girl showing up vibe, go ahead on and subscribe. You know what I mean? If it end up being a message that you care about, share it out. You know how it go. Anywho, we on this right here, y'all. This is another good text. This is kind of one to chew through, so it's going to take us a little minute. But anyway, how to analyze people, dark psychology and manipulation protection. Ooh. Spirit brought us to the back of the book. You know how sometimes you kind of got to read through that intro, go on the back page and kind of look at what they be talking about back here? It was some tidbits. Spirit says, pay attention to this and we're going to talk about it. So it says, we are never truly taught the importance of body language. And we say that like body language is so significant. Like it's like the most important part of communication, like up to 90% at least. Communication is body language. Being able to read those, nonverbal cues, yeah. We're never truly taught the importance of body language, despite nonverbal communication making up over 60, some say 93% of our communication. We're also never taught how to discern between those who are trying to manipulate, manipulate us using dark psychology and persuasion, and those who genuinely have our best interests at heart. Now see, I love that part because see, that right there is the whole premise of this show. It is Tares and Wheat Tarot show, okay? It is, how do we discern the tares from the wheat? I think that's what that just said. Discern between those who are trying to manipulate us, them tares, using dark psychology and persuasion, and those who genuinely have our best interests at heart. That's your fellow wheat, beloved. Luckily, this is what this book is exactly designed to do. Couple of little tidbits that's in here. 7 easy ways to apply nonverbal techniques. 7 easy top nonverbal techniques that are applied by politicians. So politicians, they use at least 7 of these top techniques for persuasion and manipulation. That's interesting. How to tap into the most underrated superpower, speed reading. That's interesting. Yeah. How can you use this one trick to you don't want me to say that part, huh? Okay, well, we'll skip it. 3 signs someone is lying to you. That's a good one. 3 signs that somebody is lying to you. And how to develop that 6th sense of power so that you can become a human lie detector. Because it's an emotion to lying. Yeah, you can feel that emotion. That 6th sense, them emotions. Father said you can feel it. Something's going to tell you, that ain't right. Yeah, come on. How to develop your body language and project authority to prevent issues and people treating you like a doormat. How do you develop that? Your body language to project authority. Because I know it's a lot of people that be having an issue with being able to exercise authority, and sometimes they want to yell and scream and be a little bit bullyish instead of being able to use these other techniques. So this right here says you can use your body language to project authority. Yeah, that's a good one. Emotional intelligence. Yeah, to know when somebody is manipulating you is better than having a high IQ. This says is more valuable than having a high IQ. Just knowing when somebody is trying to manipulate you. That's a good one. And the 7 most common brainwashing techniques that are used to control you and how they deal with you. And how you deal with those brainwashing techniques. That's what this one is about. So we're going to be chewing on that for a while, and as Spirit wants to bring messages from the book, we will. Now, and going into that right there, we were at, what part was that you brought me to? Oh, luckily that's what those tears are designed to do. Yeah, the tears are designed to use manipulation and dark psychology and persuasion. Try to distort you, disillusion you, taking you off your path, right? I told you this is Survivor, right? This like a whole video game almost. So when you got them tears and them energies coming after you, trying to make you do something or be leaning into something that's really not called on to your highest good, the ability to be able to feel that warning system, those emotions that's saying this person or this thing is pulling you in a different way, that is using some dark psychology and persuasion against you, there's a thing that we can use to defeat that. It is. And often what I do is I try to lean into the other direction. Well, first of all, sitting with the Spirit, and Spirit's talking to me all the time, I have to constantly stay clued into what is speaking to me. Like questioning everything. You hear me say question, 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 know thyself, know thyself, know thyself, know thyself. That way you can hear what's talking to you and you can discern it more easily, right? Using that faith to discern. Yeah, taking it into the Spirit all the time. I even ask, is this a sentiment and thought against my nature that is speaking to me, trying to get me to do something that's against my highest good? And if that be the case, then I lean into the other direction. It's telling me to go do this, or maybe not work, maybe just relax, or whatever the case may be. And maybe I've set a goal for that thing. And now this sentiment is coming over me that's having me lean into something that's not productive, or I know that it's not called to my goodness. Then I recognize it, I stop and feel it, and then I move in the other direction. I take faith that I probably should, go the other way. And then if I know that it is my highest good, my Spirit speaking to me in that way, then it's something that I lean into. I dig in a little bit further. Either way, that sentiment and those thoughts, they tell me what I need to do. And I use the application of faith to do that. Yes. So this right here, Spirit took us into this text here. And we are in Hebrews chapter 11, verse 4. And this right here is saying, by faith, Abel offered to God a more acceptable sacrifice than Cain's. Through this, he received approval as righteous. God himself giving approval to gifts. He died, but through his faith, he still speaks. Yeah, this is talking about Abel, right? Through his death did Abel speak. And we can see that in the other version where it says that Abel's spirit called out to the Most High from the ground, right? That's how God knew that Cain had slew Abel, because Abel's spirit called out. God could hear it. Right? He died, but through his faith he still speaks. By faith, Enoch also taken so that he did not experience death. He didn't experience death, he was taken. For the text said he was not found because God had taken him. For it was attested before he was taken away that he had pleased God. He had pleased God. And without faith, it is impossible to please God. Without faith, it is impossible to please God. To just know that the Most High God is there. To have faith in that. Right? That the Most High God directly connects you and is here with you. To hold that knowledge and faith in your heart space. Yes. And without faith, it is impossible to please God, for whoever would approach him must believe that he exists. You must believe that the Father exists, yes? And he rewards those who seek him diligently, yes. By faith, Noah warned by God about events that are yet unseen, things that hadn't come yet. That's faith. Noah was warned, right? Things are coming that he hadn't seen yet. But Noah respected the warning and built the ark to save his people, to save his family, his household. Yes. Yes. He was condemned by the world. They thought he was crazy. Like, what's going on? Noah, why you building this? And it ain't rained over here like nah. What? And you finna say, and God gonna do it? Come on, man, that's not what's finna happen. You done lost it. I told y'all, my daughter was looking at me, putting me in one of them jackets with the buckles in the back. I'm just saying. Folks don't always believe you when you saying something true. You can feel it when you are tapped in, and you have that communication, right? You know that God exists. You are operating on faith all the time. You got that shown up back in the day, old way walk, that Adam walk. You think Cain and Abel wasn't on that Adamic walk too? Yes, they was. That's what they had inherited. Yes, that's how God knew Abel for sure. Like, his spirit called out, Father, what in the WTF? Okay? Yeah. So, even though Noah was condemned by the world, but he became an heir to the righteousness that was in accordance with his faith. Yes. Faith of other Israelite heroes. By faith, the people passed through the Red Sea as if it was dry land. By faith. Yeah. When the Egyptians attempted to do so, they was drowned. I don't think they had faith. By faith, the walls of Jericho, they fell after it had been encircled 7 times. Right? By faith, Rahab, the prostitute, didn't perish with those who were disobedient. She was saved. Yeah, because she received the spies in peace. She knew that they were coming, where they were coming from, what they were coming for, and she welcomed the change. She was like, oh, well, you shoot. I done heard about y'all, and I ain't trying to have none of that smoke. Okay? Yeah, I know I'm over here in this camp, but y'all can come on in and chill and hide out, because I know what y'all about for real. Yeah. Your reputation precedes you. Yes. Okay, that's what that was. Father says, come on now with this thing. Yet all these things, though they were commended for their faith, did not receive what was promised, since God had provided something better, so that they would not apart from us and be made perfect. Source says to prepare for something better. Ashe. Woo. Ashe. Source says prepare for something better. All right, y'all. We got some fortune telling decks. You want this first? Nope. Okay. Which one do you want first? We got some wisdom. We ain't took them out the box yet. We doing something a little bit different. We got some angel messages, and we got some modern love tarot. And this is what Source says. So which way are we going with this? Put them in order. Are they right? This, and then this? Yes? That's it? That's the order? Where do you want the fortune teller? Where? At the end? Okay, at the end. All right. Let's get it. Let's get it, my wheat. Let's get it. Let's get it, my wheat. Let's get it. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming by here. We are almost at 110 subscribers, and I am so excited. I'm really, really happy. Growing one seed at a time, one seed at a time, one weed at a time. It just is. And like I started this from a long time ago. It's really been like 4 months. Ain't been that but a second, right? Father says it's only been a second. But, you know, I feel like we've grown a lot, y'all. We really have. We've grown a lot. This equipment got to grow because, I mean, it be looking crystal clear over here on this end. But when I load it up, it don't be looking so clear. And we have a new camera and everything. We haven't figured out how to use it yet. That's one of those things, you know. I'm on that single journey. I mean, we get into it, you know. It's complicated. Don't worry about it. If you ever go through some of them archives, you will see my story. You will hear it. We vulnerable. We share. You know, it is what it is. Do we need crystals? Yes. Which one? This one? Where? Right here. We got this one. We want that one right there. We want this one. And we're going to put this right here. Right on this one? This one? Okay. Which one? This? Okay. We're going to put that right there. All right. Whew. Anywho, y'all. So we got the camera over there, but we don't really know how to put it together. And I was supposed to be taking it back to, sending it back to the place because I keep buying the wrong stuff for it, right? And it seemed like when I was looking through the video, like it was small and still wasn't able to capture my whole table. Like it just wasn't looking like it was supposed to do what I really wanted it to do. So I'm really unsure and uncertain. Let me see if we can get this a little bit better too. A little bit unsure and uncertain about which way to go with that. That's when sometimes it'd be nice to have, partnerships so you could ask questions. But we'll figure it out. That's just the thing, right? We will figure it out. We sure will. We're going to get these ones out the way that we're not going to use right now because Father said we're going to start with this here wisdom day. So we're going to pray over that. Thank you so much, Most High God. Thank you so much. The whole. We recognize the whole. You, Father. The Father of creation, the Alpha and Omega, yes. The Logos, the Source, yes. That which called all things in creation by His infinite intelligence and binds us by His breath of life. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for edifying me and keeping me protected and protecting this message as we move forward. Thank you for helping me to edify self so that I can be edifying onto you. Giving me the message, being your will and surrendered messenger, vessel to be used to deliver the message to the we feel so that they may edify. And as we come together, we will edify each other. Is there anything else that I should pray? Please seal this space with your ashe. All right, y'all. Let's get it. Let's get it, y'all. Let's get it. Ooh, I got to get some of that crystal energy on these hands. Yes, we got to charge it up. Charge it up. Yes, thank you guys so much for bearing with me as we go through that prayer. Force. Source, yeah, the force of life. But Source says that we have to bless each deck because each deck is used to deliver a message, and we will give each deck its reverence. So we will have to sit through, and go ahead on and pray. But that's okay because prayer is every day. I said we pray. Pray. I don't know where that came. We got to pray just to make it today. I said we pray. Pray. I'm sorry. It was in my head. I had to go one more time with it. Did we not? I know. Sometimes we just be playing some of that old school music just because it's fun. Like the energy of it is so much better than that resonance that we got going on in these days and times, yeah. Because, back then it was fun. Our girls back in the 90s with the spandex, biker shorts and tank tops and crop tops and stuff like that. With they combat boots and stuff looking like Jodeci back in the day. Y'all remember how that stuff used to look. Remember 357 get loose. Y'all may not know. I'm looking up the metrics. I think I got most people in here about my age. Yeah, So y'all probably do remember 357. Juicy got him. Because it was Juicy got him crazy before it was a WAP. What did y'all? I don't remember. Yeah, it was. Juicy got him crazy. Got him cold going mad, right? Yes. Ooh, talking about some change in the music. The change in the music, yo. We went from just like music. Do, 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 do. And then now it's, everything is about killing each other. Or just, sex. That's kind of one of the things that gangster rap did, though. And when people started going through, like, this, yes, gangster rap, and really kind of catching hold to that, and then the industry just kind of was like, oh, this is what they want to hear. Oh, and this is what the image is. And then that became insidious to keep pumping out that imagery and that type of message, And we never really came back away from that. So frequency is a really big thing. Is there another card? No. Okay. Do you want any energy? Yeah, fork in the road. Yeah. We went away from that. And sometimes I think about what it would be like if we came back together. And came back together to create something different. Right? Yeah. Create something different. How would the energy change? Because we kind of stuck right here. In a never-ending story. Yes. A never-ending story that keeps us feeling that distraught and that grief and sadness. And I do, we looking back at this book and we talking about manipulations, right? Dark psychology and manipulation. What's really going on behind the scenes? That's why this is Tears in the Week Tarot. So we can see the tears, yes. Put some faith in front of that fear. I mean, everybody that we talked about in the scripture faced something heavy, right? We talking about murder in the family. Like Cain and Abel were brothers, So when you have somebody that's close to you, brother on brother, we just was talking about that, us killing each other, right? We are a family, right? We are so connected. We are a family. And killing each other is just, we can hear the blood of our brothers crying out from the ground. The Father can hear that sorrow. The same way he could hear Abel is the same way he hears all the others. And then, yeah, it is the Father acting in the capacity to bring them home, but the actions are all to bring us to unity, to change our mindset, to bring us into a place where we dismantle the afflictions that are on our community. And we can do that. We can self-save. Yeah. The ability to save self is within. It is. The Father baked it in. We have a direct connection to the source, to the Father, the Almighty himself. The same as Cain and Abel. We do. We are the children. And you have the ability to go directly to. The same way that the source would speak to Noah and say, you need to do this in order to prepare, the source will come and speak to you. The same way that the source led the children out of Egypt, out of the bondage, made the way based on their faith. The source will do that. What did he do? He lit their way. He was a light before them, a cloud. They were covered. They were fed. And they had no need not to go to anybody else because the Father was before them day and night. Come on with this thing. Thank you, Father. Yes. Let's bless this deck. Thank you so much, Holy Father, for coming in and using this deck of cards as your tools to deliver a message. Thank you for using me as a vessel, as a willing, surrendered vessel to deliver the messages onto your field, to deliver them to self for edification, onto your we field for edification, for our unification, so that we may come together, be strong and unite and unify and edify you. Thank you so much. Because the source is creation. All of creation is in the source. All of it. And as creation comes together and realizes that it is whole and complete, ooh, baby, it's a power in that. And you talking about edifying unto source? Yeah, because source still inhabits the kingdom. It does. It is still before us, whether we see it or not. It's covered up by the veils of conformity. Yeah. Veils of conformity that we need to release. Because we still are in a creative state. And right now, we are co-creating a never-ending story. A never-ending story. Round and around and around and around and around and around and around we are. Any of these? No? Okay. Round and around and around and around and around and around we are. Father says, I feel something in here. Yes, it's pushing. Is it this? Back on the bottom? Nope. This? Let's get a shuffle. Ooh, energy is heavy, y'all. They just flipping. I can't even figure out what's happening. Is it confusion? Yes. Most High? The infinite intelligence? Yes. Bring clarity, please. What is it that we should have? This? Is it in here? Okay. Seven of Water. Choices over analyzing and procrastination. I'm hearing the word procrastination. Procrastination. Choices, over analyzing, and procrastination. Nostalgia. Old shit. Old shit is the challenge. Never ending story, procrastination, old-ish. Is there anything else left in this tab? No. Anything else in here? Yes. Let's get a shuffle. Yeah, emotions. Emotions and intuition. Emotions and intuition. Is it challenged? No. Is it right up? Yes. Strong emotions. Yes, very strong emotions. And we talked about the passion, like the anger that's coming from a lot of this grief and stuff like that earlier today in the first session. Is there anything else in this deck? Okay, no. Anything else? No. The strong emotions. And those emotions, we have choices and ways to kind of transmute and transform this energy, right? Transform. But procrastination and dealing with the emotions is because we stuff them down, right? We stuffing them down, stuffing them down, stuffing them down, stuffing them down. And they keep getting compacted. Again, I feel that packedness, right? Everything is just like packed. And it doesn't have a way to come up. It's blocked. I feel spirit is just blocking it right here. It's just like stuck. Yes, it's stuck. And to bust this stuff up, that's why we always say only thing we do is sit around and chop it up, so we can chop this ish up, so we can bust it up, break it up, so we can get it out, so we can start moving, right? We can move that energy. We can come out of the procrastination of moving the energy, because maybe what we're choosing to deal with it, how we're choosing to deal with it, is not healthy onto self. It's not. And the challenge of it is the past. It's those past memories, right? Past memories, whether it's, and I feel like generational past memories, like the trauma that we've had as a collective for so long. And this trauma is not specific to any specific lot. It's not. It is a collective trauma for creation itself. The planet, Mother Earth, is in trauma. The inhabitants of Earth, of this plane, are in trauma. All of us are inflicted and affected by trauma. All of us. Whether it is the fact that you don't see that you're an operant in terms of being that Agent Smith, tear type of energy, but Matrix Agent Smith, you can be designed to be a tear and not know it, but you are still affected by the trauma of the day. You are affected. And if you were on the receiving end of that, you think about the crew of the Nebuchadnezzar that Morpheus was leading, trying to find the one who would break everybody out and get them to freedom and end the war, right? They were also under trauma. Everybody experiencing trauma at the same time. Different types, different levels, different severity, but it's still trauma all the same. And all of us are experiencing past trauma of this plane, and we are all stuck in a never-ending story that we are creating, co-creating in. Yes. And we are procrastinating in terms of coming together with creative solutions that are actually going to move us forward. And a part of that is, one, we are separate, so the choices that we have to move forward are immense, right? But can we agree on how to move forward? I had a conversation earlier about representation as a group of peoples when we can't determine if we are a nation of people or not. Can't really move forward until we have a determination of whether or not we are a people, and what kind of people, and what is the nationality of that people. Just saying. Choices. Yeah, it's a lot of them. And we spend a lot of time over analyzing that. We do. Instead of determining, like, what is the commonalities, what are the hot ticket items that we're going to point to, that we're going to pick at, we're going to do this, that, get focused on that, and move it forward, just get to going with this thing. But instead, we co-create a never-ending story. And so those emotions that we have built up in here, we need to break them up, bust them up, realize them, analyze, let them roll by. You're real. So you can see it, detach from it in a way that you can transform it and use it to propel yourself forward. Yes. We're going to jump into some Modern Love Tarot. We got to go ahead on and pray. Let's say we pray. I'm sorry. Come on, Father. Thank you so much for being with me. Thank you so much for allowing me to have an awareness of you in us, in creation itself as a whole and complete unit. Thank you so much for the intelligence. Thank you so much for the cosmic breath, the breath of life, the force that binds and animates all of us. Yes. Thank you so much for blessing this deck of cards, using these cards as a tool to bring your message, using me as your willing, surrendered vessel to bring the message, edifying onto self and source, edifying onto my fellow wheat, so that they may edify you and we can unite and edify you. Is there anything else I should pray? Please protect us and seal it with your ashe. All right, y'all, let's get it. Let's get it. We did it. Thank y'all so much for being so grateful and gracious with me as we do that. Do you want this card, either one of them? No, is a spill? Okay, we're going to put that back. Put one in there. Make sure the deck is upright. Yep, we got everything going good. Blow that breath on them one more time. Yes. Oh, we were talking about that too earlier today. Positive and negative breathing. Yes, you have a positive side. Blow out the negative. Blow up, breathe up, blow out the positive side. So you can do a positive pull, blow out the negative. Do a negative pull, blow out the positive. And then you can do both and blow it out. Yes. You can cleanse yourself, like put a whole bunch of fresh energy in your mind, in this brain space up here. Do you want this? No. Anything in here? Yes. Okay. Which one is it? Was it this? The Empress. Oh, creation. See, and that's beautiful synchronicity right here. See, let me show you. See, the Empress that's co-creation. You talking about co-create? Let me show you what's behind the co-create. Ooh, it's good. Poised. Poised and co-create. Now look at her. You tell me that that's not poised and co-creation. She's pregnant, sitting there, luscious, grounded to the earth. Look at that, all that green and beautifulness around there. Birthing something new. Yes, she's a co-creator. She creates with the Sky Father or her Emperor. Yes, yes. Poised, soft, luscious. Just, oh, yes, yes. You see all of it. Fruitful, flowing, glowing. The red on her, that deep knowingness, that deep high vibrational love, that wisdom. Yes, I feel it. Ooh, that is lovely. You want another one? Yeah, let's do it. Let's get it, Father. Let's get it. All right, y'all. That's pretty. I like it. And I love how it's synchronistic. Like, it's time to co-create something. Do you want something in here? Yeah. It's a choice. What we just say. It's time to choose a direction. It's time to create. It's time to plan. It's time to plan. It's time to prepare. Come together to prepare. Yes. Two of Wands is planning. Looking at direction. It is. Yes. You want anything else in here? Anything else in the deck? Okay, we're going to move these right here. You want them right here? Right here. Okay. Yes. We're going to put that right back. We got one last one, y'all. We're going to run through this deck here. Anything you want to say about this? Plan to create a new world. Woo! Plan to create a whole new world. wide, wondrous place I never knew. But now I'm way up here. I'm not scared to catch. It's crystal clear. Now I'm in a whole new. I'm just saying, y'all. We be singing like nobody listening. I hope all y'all listening that you still hear that I didn't scare y'all off and run you off. Yeah. Spirit said yeah. Spirit said try again. Just saying. I don't know. I haven't used these fortune teller cards in a very long time, so let's just see what comes out. But Spirit did say that we are co-creating. And right now, we're currently co-creating a never-ending story based on old stuff, right? But we have options to come out of overanalyzing and procrastination, because overanalyzing allows to, what is it? What do we call it? It is, analysis paralysis. Woo! Father, come on in with that reminder. Remind the remainder. Father said we are in analysis paralysis. And that's when you have so many options to choose from that you end up being slow in making any choice at all. Because we are such a big, diverse people, again, we're a lot of things that we are missing and we cannot move through these emotions is because we are separated. We are dispersed all over the place. Because one of the deceitful things, the manipulations that were done to us, particularly as a people, as Black Americans or African descendants like that in the States, is that when we were brought here for labor to build the American market, right? What they did was separate the families. So we lost a lot of connectivity, right? And therefore we are dispersed. And having a sense of connectivity is difficult when you are snatched away from your parents. So a lot of us have birthed down, again, that post-traumatic slave syndrome is compounded and is complex. And abandonment and separation anxiety is a huge thing. And it's something that's often not talked about, right? Why do we have abandonment issues? Why do we have separation anxiety? Well, it happened when we were ripped apart. Our families were torn apart like that. And our families, we had a period where we were able to start to kind of repair some of that. But we never could recover. And I'll tell you why. No. We didn't. Never it was in the reverse. It's because we can, right? We can. We can get past this. And so when our families were separated, we think about that philosophy, right? Ripped apart. And then we think about what happened in marriage, right? Because during that time, marriages were arranged. It was like, this is a business deal. It was not, it was to create, to manufacture almost, strong, you know how it went. That was one of the deceptive, manipulative, dark psychological tools they used, right? Anybody has never read the Willie Lynch letter? Go get it. It's like super thin, and it'll clue you in onto some of this manipulation, and it's the tools that stick with us. Like we pass down the trauma of it. Not that the tactics, all of them are still in play. Some of them are still going on, and we can see how it has morphed and changed over time, and how it still afflicts us as a community and group of people. But at the same time, the ability to have normal marriages was not given on to us. And then when we were able to come together and really form and start to regenerate family structure, the trauma and the hardship and adversities were then a thing. You either had to marry in secret, so they really didn't know who you loved, because they were going to attack who you loved strategically, systematically. Or after that, yes, okay, honey. After that, it was the adversities, unable to find work and an employment, and not even to be able to have a true what was it? Is it called a nuclear family, where you have the male goes to work and the wife stays home and takes care of the kids? Because the resources were not there to allow us to do that. Both parents were outside of the house working. Okay, because so I'm trying to figure out, when was it ever a time where black women had to get a chance to stay home and just take care of kids? Now, that I don't recall any time in this space where we were able to do that. When? Because see, both of them was going out the house. She was cleaning floors and cooking and taking care of somebody's kids, while you was working in the lumberyard, on the shipyard, or in a coal mine or somewhere like that doing hard labor. She was scrubbing floors on her knees and cooking somebody else's food. Let's get with this thing now for real, because we be talking about this thing like black women and like just, oh, we just kicked out husbands, and now like, oh, we gonna hang on in there on the welfare system because we looking for a come up. Like, really, let's look at this thing from a, because that is a manipulation. It's brainwashing, and it's a dark psychology that got us talking like that. Like, we don't really know what the real is. We all came from the same, not all of us, because not all of us are in the same place. This is global with this thing. How y'all doing? You know, but we talking about us over here in the States, where this whole thing, that syndrome of chattel slavery ripped us apart. Yeah. And those tenets of what Mr. Lynch taught, who still plague our community. I mean, he said it would have them like what, for how long? Let's think about it. That trauma is still with us, and we birth it. We send it down. We teach it. We teach our children. We teach them the way to keep them safe. You teach your son to be like this when the cop pull him over, how to act, how to respond so that he don't get killed. We teach them. We talking about Karens like it's a new thing. That ain't no new thing. It's been going on for how long? Since way back when? Since we was on the plantation up in this piece. Just saying. It's been the same. Karen ain't new. False reports ain't new. So why do we not prosecute these mofos when they call the police on us for just doing shit like normal, like breathing? Why don't we go up and follow up and say they filed a false police report and endangered my life, knowing that that privilege that they have could kill me just by saying something false? We need to have more of that going on. I mean, because Emmett Till, the movie, is coming out to show us what, the same thing that's been happening for how long, and we dealing with it. I mean, wasn't Terrell Owens just going through the same thing? I mean, we see it every day. Every day. Every single day. This woman up there, one of the most famous ones, this woman choking her own dog out, talking about he trying to attack me and my dog while he recording her line. Where is the recourse for that, beloveds? Because in this day and age, we still operate from a fear standpoint. I saw a woman whose whole business is being vandalized while she's sitting in the car video recording this chick throwing trash all over her business. Why didn't you call the police, beloved? You sitting in the car talking to somebody else. They could be on 911 while you recording her do it and charge her for vandalism and harassment. If we don't use some of the choices that we have and quit procrastinating with this thing like it's just back in the day with them fucked up ass, old nostalgic ass bullshit, we gonna stay in this here never ending story. Never ended. Still being emotional. A whole ace of cups full of emotion. And we got the intuition that's telling us that we can do it. We can do something different. That today is a whole different day. It's a whole different day. That's what the Empress says. We ready to create something new. Birth something new. Oh yeah. And we got to put a plan into action in order to do that. We got to plan it. I mean, and look at them. They got a cell phone in their hand. Were we not just talking about people can record stuff on their phones? We can call. We got the evidence, the proof right here. Yeah, it ain't going to be easy for you because they ain't going to make it easy. Ain't none of it ever been easy. When has it ever been easy, beloved? But that's what we built for. We can do it. We can. We can overcome this. Yes, we can. That's why never in my fortune tale is in reverse. Because it's absolutely true. Yes, we can. And we can do it now. And we ain't got to wait for somebody to come and beam us up off into paradise and suffer in this plane. Because I tell you one thing, beloved, you are not called on to suffer. You are not called on to suffer. Them tears do something. They push you to be great. They push you to edify yourself so that you can become good bread. Because guess what? At the end of the day, you called to be the wheat. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are called for the wheat. You are called for good bread. And it's time out for all this analysis paralysis that's got us stuck. Can't figure out which way we going up from down. Everybody talking, but can we get together under one accord and make that voice unified and strong and showing up, bring some change up in here? That's what we need to do. Empress says it's time to birth something new. Two of Wands says that we can plan it out, and Never in Reverse says yes, the hell we can. But are we doing it? No. We can't figure out who or what we are. Most of us don't even want to be associated with our roots. Now that's a whole thing. It is. Separation. Abandonment. Separating you from your roots to the point where you don't even care enough to know where you come from. And that's not to all of us, because some of us do. It is. It's a lot of people. Again, woke culture is not a hashtag in this day. It's really not. It's so many people that's coming to the awareness of who and what you are from a spiritual essence, from down your lineage, to see that we are connected. We are. We are a beautiful, diverse people. Yes. Yes. Beautifully colored. Diverse, magnificent, Son of Man, Son of God. Come on. When we can see ourselves as source, the source of self, your spirit self, and you can see me and I can see you in the same, because I already see y'all as source. I mean, that is. But can everybody else see everybody else as source? Can we discern what's tare from wheat? You got to be able to know what you're facing. You got to know how to move around. And that's what we're here to do. Chop this shit up so we know how to move around. That's it. That's all we do. Sometimes it get animated. Sometimes it's like cooking a pot roast. You know, just let it go in the slow cooker for all day. We never know what the spirit is going to do. It's showing up like a box of chocolates. Now, we got a little animated here because this message, I feel it. Source is saying it's time. It's time. I mean, like, hey, it's time. Because we've been in a never-ending story that we are co-creating. At this point, we are. We co-creating this here thing through analysis paralysis, procrastination. It's going on way too long, beloved. Way too long. Father said it's time. It's time for the sheep to come into the sheepfold. Y'all knew like I knew. It's time. Everybody say that, though. It's getting nigh. We don't never know when the time is. That's what Father said on earlier's message. We never know the date. We never know the time. For Father says, I come like a thief in the night. Are you watching? Are you watching? Are you prepared? Prepared, brother. Prepared, sister. Two of Wands says it's time to plan. It's time to prepare. Empress says it's time to create a whole new day. I hear, who gonna break my soul? Who gonna break my soul? I tell everybody. I tell everybody. New foundation. Starting my own vibration, yeah. Just saying. Who gonna break your soul? Nobody. Why? Because you the wheat, baby. And you called for good bread. This is the message, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope you vibe. If you vibe, subscribe. If you vibe, subscribe. If it's a message that you care about, share it out. Sharing is caring. And if you really want to sit for a spell, go ahead on and hit that little noti bell. Let you know the next time we throw up one of these episodes. Because this is the Tears in Wheat to Roll show. Well, you sure enough never know what you're going to get. It's like a whole box of chocolates. All right? So to the next now, we're going to call this here Ashe.